ਇਕ ਅਦੁੱਤੀ ਗੁਰ ਨਾਨਕ ਦੇਵਾ, ਓੰਕਾਰ ਗੁਰ ਅੰਗਦ ਅਪੇਵਾ। ਸਤਨਾਮ ਗੁਰ ਅਮਰ ਪਿਆਰੇ, ਕਰਤਾ ਰਾਮਦਾਸ ਗੁਰ ਵਾਰੇ। ਪੁਰਖ ਸ੍ਰੀ ਅਰਜਨ ਸੁਖਦਾਨੀ, ਨਿਰਭਉ ਹਰਿ ਗੋਬਿੰਦ ਗੁਣ ਖਾਨੀ। ਨਿਰਵੈਰ ਗੁਰੂ ਹੈ ਸ੍ਰੀ ਹਰਿ ਰਾਏ, ਅਕਾਲ ਮੂਰਤ ਹਰਿ ਕ੍ਰਿਸ਼ਨ ਧਿਆਏ। ਅਜੂਨੀ ਤੇਗ ਬਹਾਦਰ ਰਾਈ, ਸੈਭੰ ਗੁਰ ਦਸਮੇਸ਼ ਸਹਾਈ। ਗੁਰ ਪ੍ਰਸਾਦ ਗ੍ਰੰਥ ਗੁਰ ਗਿਆਨਾ, ਵਾਹਿਗੁਰੂ ਬੰਦਨ ਭਗਵਾਨਾ। ਜੈ ਹਿਰਦ ਮੈਂ ਐਸੋ ਜਪ ਵਸੈ, ਸੋ ਹੋਏ ਖਾਲਸਾ ਸਭ ਮੈਂ ਲਸੈ। ਆਦ ਸਚ ਦਇਆ ਸਿੰਘ ਪਿਆਰੇ, ਜੁਗਾਦ ਸਚ ਬਾਕੀ ਜੋ ਚਾਰੇ। ਹੈਪੀ ਹੋਸੀ ਦਸ਼ਮੇਸ਼ ਸਵਾਰੇ, ਪੀ ਸਚ ਚਾਰੇ ਲਾਲ ਦੁਲਾਰੇ। ਕਹਾਂ ਬੁੱਧ ਪ੍ਰਭ ਤੁਛ ਹਮਾਰੀ, ਬਰਨ ਸਕੇ ਮਹਿਮਾ ਜੋ ਤਿਹਾਰੀ। ਹਮ ਨਾ ਸਕੇ ਕਰ ਸਿਫਤ ਤੁਮਾਰੀ, ਆਪ ਲਿਹੋ ਤੁਮ ਕਥਾ ਸੁਧਾਰੀ। ਸ੍ਰੀ ਨਾਨਕ ਪਰਸ਼ੋਤਮੰ, ਪਰਮ ਪਰਾਵਰ ਨਾਥ। ਯੁਗਲ ਚਰਨ ਮਮ ਬੰਦਨਾ, ਧਰ ਪਰ ਧਰ ਕਰ ਮਾਥ। ਵਾਹਿਗੁਰੂ ਗੁਰੂ ਨਾਨਕ ਸਾਹਿਬ, ਤਾਰ ਕੇ ਮੂਰਤ ਹੈ ਜਗ ਆਇਓ। ਲੋਕ ਸੁਨਿਓ ਪਰ ਲੋਕ ਸੁਨਿਓ, ਬਿਦ ਲੋਕ ਸੁਨਿਓ ਸਭ ਦਰਸ਼ਨ ਪਾਇਓ। ਸੰਗਤ ਪਾਰ ਉਤਾਰਨ ਕੋ, ਗੁਰੂ ਨਾਨਕ ਪੰਥ ਚਲਾਇਓ। ਗੁਰੂ ਨਾਨਕ ਵਾਹਿਗੁਰੂ ਗੁਰੂ ਨਾਨਕ ਸਾਹਿਬ, ਤਾਰ ਕੇ ਮੂਰਤ ਹੈ ਜਗ ਆਇਓ। ਤਾਰ ਕੇ ਮੂਰਤ ਹੈ ਜਗ ਆਇਓ। ਆਓ ਗੁਰੂ ਪਿਆਰੀ ਸਾਧ ਸੰਗਤ ਜੀ, ਦੋਨੇ ਹੱਥ ਜੋੜੋ। ਆਓ ਫਤਿਹ ਦੀ ਸਾਂਝ ਪਾਏ, ਗੱਜ ਵੱਜ ਕੇ ਆਖੋ ਜੀ ਵਾਹਿਗੁਰੂ ਜੀ ਕਾ ਖਾਲਸਾ, ਵਾਹਿਗੁਰੂ ਜੀ ਕੀ ਫਤਿਹ। ਦਾਸ ਦੀ ਨਿਮਰਤਾ ਸਹਿਤ ਬੇਨਤੀ ਹੈ ਸਮੂਹ ਸੰਗਤਾਂ ਨੂੰ, ਗੁਰੂ ਮਹਾਰਾਜ ਜੀ ਦੇ ਧਿਆਨ ਧਰਦੇ ਹੋਏ ਫਿਰ ਆਪਾਂ ਇੱਕ ਵਾਰੀ ਹੋਰ ਫਤਿਹ ਦੀ ਸਾਂਝ ਪਾਉਣੀ ਹੈ। ਜਦੋਂ ਫਤਿਹ ਦੀ ਸਾਂਝ ਪਾਵਾਂਗੇ, ਦਾਸ ਸਮਝੂਗਾ ਕਿ ਸੰਗਤੀ ਗੁਰੂ ਸਾਹਿਬ ਦੀ ਅਸੀਸ ਦਾਸ ਦੇ ਮਸਤਕ ਦੇ ਉੱਪਰ ਆ, ਅਤੇ ਫਿਰ ਅੱਗੇ ਜੋ ਵੀ ਮਹਾਰਾਜ ਜੀ ਨੇ ਕਹਾਉਣਾ ਮਹਾਰਾਜ ਜੀ ਆਪ ਕਹਾ ਲਵੇ। ਤੁਸੀਂ ਕਿਰਪਾ ਕਰੋ ਗੁਰੂ ਮਹਾਰਾਜ ਜੀ ਦਾ ਧਿਆਨ ਧਰਦੇ ਹੋਏ ਫਤਿਹ ਦੀ ਸਾਂਝ ਬਖਸ਼ੇ ਅਸੀਸਾਂ ਬਖਸ਼ੋ। ਆਖੋ ਜੀ ਵਾਹਿਗੁਰੂ ਜੀ ਕਾ ਖਾਲਸਾ, ਵਾਹਿਗੁਰੂ ਜੀ ਕੀ ਫਤਿਹ। ਗੁਰੂ ਪਿਆਰੀ ਸਾਧ ਸੰਗਤ ਜੀ, ਪੱਟਾਂ ਸਵਈਏ ਜਿਹੜੇ ਤੁਸੀਂ ਸਰਵਨ ਕੀਤੇ ਆ, ਪੱਟਾਂ ਦੇ ਸਵਈਏ ਬਾਣੀ ਦਾ ਯੂ ਜਸਟ ਹਰਡ, before the parts recited the Mahima, or you can say the praises of the 5 Guru Sahibs, Guru Arjan Dev Ji gave him the Vidhi. So before that you have Guru Arjan Dev Ji reciting the Bani and giving him the Vidhi and the blessing. So ਉਹਨਾਂ ਦੀ ਰਸਨਾ ਤੋਂ ਕੀ ਪ੍ਰਗਟ ਹੋਗਾ? ਗੁਰ ਕੀ ਬਾਣੀ। That's why ਭੱਟਾਂ ਦੇ ਸਵਈਏ is within Guru Granth Sahib Ji. Satta te Balwand, they also had gone through a point where ਜਿੱਥੇ ਬੇਮੁਖ ਹੋ ਗਏ ਸੀ, but when a Gursikh brought him back to Sri Darbar Sahib and they asked for forgiveness, and when the Marji's toe touched their tongue, they were able to recite Gurbani, and that Gurbani is within Guru Granth Sahib Ji. But the blessing is through from Guru Sahib, Gur Prasad. Now the parts recite, Ek man purkh tyai bardata, Sant sahar sada bikhyata, Tas charan, take Guru Maharaj Ji's charan, Tas charan le hriday basavo, take Guru Maharaj Ji's charan and with love, let them sit within your heart. Tas charan le hriday basavo, to param Guru Nanak gun gavo. Then you take that love that you have, that wells up in your heart, and take it to your lips, and you sing out Guru Nanak Dev Ji's praises. And they did. That was the recipe, that was the formula, that's the method. That method is in the beginning stanza of Savaiya Mahla Pehle ke, jire tusi aap sarvan kita. Then they go through figures, hastiyan, those people that have come before. Gave Indradak, Bhagat Prahladak, ਜਿੱਥੇ ਇੰਦਰ ਐਂਡ ਦੇਵੀ ਦੇਵਤੇ ਹੋਣ, ਜਿਹੜੇ ਤੁਸੀਂ ਮੰਨ ਲਓ ਭਾਵੇਂ ਭਗਤ ਪ੍ਰਹਿਲਾਦ ਜੀ ਹੋਣ, ਵੇਦ ਵਿਆਸ ਜੋ ਵੀ ਹੋਏ ਆ, ਜਿਹੜੇ ਆਪਦੇ ਸਮੇਂ ਡਿਊਰਿੰਗ ਦੇਅਰ ਟਾਈਮ ਵੱਡੇ ਮੰਨੇ ਗਏ ਸੀ, ਇਹ ਕਲ ਭੱਟ ਨੂੰ what did he have a vision of? When Guru Maharaj Ji granted him a blessing, he had a vision that all of these great figures of the past are singing Guru Nanak Dev Ji's just now. So whoever you anoint as being great in the past, they're acknowledging Guru Nanak Dev Ji as great. Sabte Vadda Sat Guru Nanak. So you can take the first Savaiya Mahla Pehle ke and take it as a translation or an extension of the Bani that we just told you, Sabte Vadda Satguru Nanak. Now, when they said it, they didn't mention specific features of Guru Nanak Dev Ji. They just went into that these people are all singing Guru Nanak Dev Ji's praises. All of those beings that you've heard of in their own glory during their own time, they're all just singing. That's because it's very hard to go in to describing Guru Nanak Dev Ji. When Gursikhs, during the time of Guru Arjan Dev Ji, maaf karna Guru Har Gobind Sahib Ji, they asked that kis tarah si Guru Nanak Dev Ji? Sanu vi dasso Baba Vadda Ji. Baba Vadda Ji says, Akhan parayaiyan, his tears welled up in his eyes. And he says, what can you say about just complete noor? Just complete light. What else do you want me to say? I can't say anymore. So, moving on. There's one thing that Gurbani does utter about our Guru Sahib that we can say is Gur Babek Sat Sar. Bibek means, kyunki Bhai Gurdas Ji ne in Kabit Savaiye mentions that jis tarah Purnamashi di raat nu Tan Sri Guru Nanak Dev Ji da Avtar hoya. He says, Ek, Anek, Bibek, Sas. Sas means moon. He says, just like the Purnamashi raat, and it happened on Budhvar, Budh, meaning Bibek Budh, that Bibek Budh, God's going to grant to the world so they can see what is Ek amongst Anek. Anekta de vich Ek Pashan nu Jugti Marji ne de deni hai. That God is going to grant him the eyes, ਉਹਨਾਂ ਨੂੰ ਅੱਖਾਂ ਦੇ ਦੇਣੀਆਂ ਜਿਹੜੇ ਸਾਰਿਆਂ ਦੇ ਵਿੱਚ ਉਹ ਏਕ ਪਰਮਾਤਮਾ ਦੀ ਜੋਤ ਦੇਖ ਸਕਣ ਘੱਟ ਘੱਟ ਮੇ ਪ੍ਰਵੇਸ਼ ਭਾਈ ਗੁਰਦਾਸ ਜੀ ਆਪ ਦੱਸਦੇ ਆ ਅਬਾਊਟ ਦ ਮਹਿਮਾ ਆਫ ਗੁਰੂ ਨਾਨਕ ਦੇਵ ਜੀ ਬਟ ਦ ਮਹਿਮਾ ਉਹ ਕੀ ਕਹਿ ਸਕਦੇ ਆਪਾਂ ਐਂਡ ਆਪਾਂ ਵੀ ਹੁਣ ਗਾਉਣਾ ਕਿਉਂਕਿ ਤਾਸ ਚਰਨ ਲੈ ਹਿਰਦੇ ਬਸਾਵੋ ਤੋਂ ਪਰਮ ਗੁਰੂ ਨਾਨਕ ਗੁਣ ਗਾਵੋ ਮੇਰਾ ਮਕਸਦ ਇੱਥੇ ਬੈਠਣ ਦਾ ਇਹੀ ਆ ਕਿ ਸੰਗਤ ਨੂੰ ਹੁਣ ਗੁਰੂ ਮਹਾਰਾਜ ਜੀ ਦਾ ਜਸ ਆਪਾਂ ਗਾਇਨ ਕਰਨਾ ਸੋ ਮੈਂ ਪਿੱਛੇ ਬੋਲੂੰਗਾ ਮਾਫ ਕਰਨਾ ਮੈਂ ਪਹਿਲਾਂ ਬੋਲੂੰਗਾ ਤੁਸੀਂ ਸਾਰਿਆਂ ਨੇ ਪਿੱਛੇ ਬੋਲਣਾ ਗੁਰ ਕੀ ਮਹਿਮਾ ਕਿਆ ਕਹਾ ਗੁਰ ਕੀ ਮਹਿਮਾ ਕਿਆ ਕਹਾ ਸਾਰੇ ਬੋਲੋ ਜੀ गुर की महिमा क्या कहा गुर की गुर बिबेक सत सर गुर बिबेक सत सर गुर गुर की महिमा क्या कहा गुर की गुर बिबेक सत सर गुर बिबेक गुर बिबेक गुर बिबेक गुर की महिमा क्या कहा. So what praises can I utter of Dhan Sri Guru Nanak Dev Ji? Now, you might know Bhai Parminder Singh. If you don't know, this saintly Ruh has touched a lot of lives. And Bhai Parminder Singh wrote in Guru Nanak Dev Ji's first volume. Now we're calling it Sakhi Sagar. Before, it was the first volume that served as a blueprint for the volume that's available downstairs. He says in there, just like a son wishes to praise his father and let the entire world know how great his father is, the same way, I want to let the world know how great my father Guru Nanak Dev Ji is. And itthon sada mud banda. And this is our introduction. If we're going to sing Guru Nanak Dev Ji, we can never do justice and describe Guru Nanak Dev Ji. We can just sing his glory and say, Toda ant nahi sache Paatshah. ਆਪਾਂ ਜੇ ਗਾ ਲਿਆ ਹੈ ਨਾ, ਸਮਝੋ ਤੁਸੀਂ ਹੁਣ ਗਾ ਲਿਆ ਹੈ, ਸਮਝ ਲਿਆ. ਨਹੀਂ ਉਹਨਾਂ ਤਾਂ ਬੇਅੰਤ ਬੇਅੰਤ ਬੇਅੰਤ. 1526 Bikrmi Sammat. And that translates to 1469 in the years that we acknowledge now, according to our calendar. I told you it was a Budhvar. And that time, people were automatically getting happy. Just Suraj Prakash de vich dekho na, they say that, I should say Guru Nanak Prakash, the first part of Suraj Prakash, that lokan nu sabhavak hi, automatically everybody was feeling happy. And why shouldn't they? That now God himself has come in the form of Guru Nanak Dev Ji. When they told Baba Kalyan Chand, the father of Guru Nanak Dev Ji, us waqt Baba Kalyan Chand jehdi khushi si odi hadd rahi nahi. There was no limit to the happiness he felt. That ghar de vich ek balak pragat hoya. Balak vini, Rabbi Balak, a holy being, according to Daulta Dai, the midwife, that came to deliver the Balak, but she was delivered in the process across this world ocean. Daulta Dai, that was so overwhelmed by her experience that we're going to go into that as well too. They come and tell Baba Kalyan Chand. He quickly gathers himself and he says, Jaake Sheti, Pandit Hardayal Ji nu bulao. A servant quickly goes and runs to Pandit Hardayal Ji in Rai Poe ki Talwandi. Pandit Hardayal Ji came. And he already is told that Mehta Kalyan Chand just had a baby boy. And one dekhya, according to the Nishattars and all the signs that are available, he's saying, this is really good. This is really, really good. And he keeps coming, and when Baba Kalyan Chand says, that Sheti aage tusi Pandit Hardayal Ji, bahut khushi hoi, tusi mere vaste hon janam patri tiyar karo, birth certificate. They prepare a birth certificate. Pandit Hardayal Ji says, de zarur, main tiyar karda, pehla mainu dai leke aao. Because I need to gather more information. When they bring Daulta Dai haje akkhan poonj rahi si. Because this feeling was too overwhelming. And hath haje kambi jande si. And she tells Pandit Hardayal Ji, and he says to Daulta Dai, he says to her, how did this occur? What time did it occur? She says, Pandit Ji, do pair raat de nange si, ek kadi. That approximates to 12:54 at night. And jadon eh hoya na, ek prakash hoya. There was 8 lights glowing in the room to give me chanan, that I thought I was going to deliver the child. But at that moment, I saw so much light that jadon light maddam hon lagya, then I saw this baby boy gracing my hands, and a surge of what I would say happiness going through my mind and giving me every santokh that I have never experienced in my life. I experienced today, that it went through my mind. And at that time, I saw something. I saw the child smile and look with its eyes into the depth of my soul, and then laugh. I have delivered a lot of children in my life. I've never experienced this. And Pandit Hardayal ji is just getting more information to validate what he already had in his head. And what was that? A Parmeshwar da Avtar. And moments are going by and he's stamping it in his head. Yes, this is God himself. So by now, he comes to what's shown in that photo as he goes to Baba Kalyan Chand. He says, "Oh, Rabbi Balak nu laike aao mere samne." And when they bring Dhan Sri Guru Nanak Dev Ji, you know what he does? He takes Marji's charan and he places it on his forehead. These tiny baby charan of Dhan Sri Guru Nanak Dev Ji. And the first one to feel him against his forehead is Pandit Hardayal Ji. Mein dekho, kei log ka, Pandit means scholar. Your scholar means nothing. Your scholarship means nothing. Je amli jeevan de vich nahi leke aune. But he brought it into amli jeevan that day. And he says to Baba Kalyan Chand, "Mainu 13 ke din deo. Main kali nahi karna chahna. Mainu Parmeshwar nu chintan karn deo. Let me meditate on God's name. And what name he brings to me, that I'll bring forth to you. Today, main jo bani da Guru Nanak Dev Ji ne pragat kiti, oh tuhade agge samne rakhni hai. Kis tarah?" So at that time, he goes home. 13 days he meditates. He looked through granths and he saw that ek granth kholya, he saw that jire granth de vich 36 virtues that he saw all in Guru Nanak Dev Ji. But it's not to say had padati that we put a limit. There's way more. Anant Kala Guru Maharji, Thakur hoye chadya. That Guru Maharji is beyond everything. So then he says, "A grantha nu passe rakh dewa, kyunki inna ne mainu changi tarah samjh nahi pauni ke na ki rakhiye." So he meditated. 13 days went by, and then he heard the voice of God inside of him. And the voice of God says, "Nanak, Nanak naam rakhna." And that naam came to him and he wrote it on the Janam Patri. Kehanda main ohne badalna nahi. Main yahi rakhna jo Parmeshwar ne na dhar ditta hai, maithon nahi tarya. Ek galti na likha leo ke say that Pandit Hardayal Ji named it. Haan, mainu maan ta lokan ne dena, par Parmeshwar ne aap tarya no. Jot roop har aap Guru Nanak khayo. Guru Nanak Dev Ji, and he comes to Baba Kalyan Chand, Mehta Kalu, and he says to him that na hun mainu lab gaya, main janam patri te teh karke likh ditta, main hun badalna nahi. Baba Kalyan Chand, sun la, tere put da naam Nanak hoga. It's going to be Guru Nanak Dev Ji. And he says, nahi. No, I don't want, first of all, Imelda with my daughter's name, I don't want that name. I can't really understand what it is. Then he says, "Ruko, main naam bhi samjha dena what it means." It means that Na stands for Narayan. That Narayan, jis tarah Raipur ki Talwandi's first name wasn't Nankana Sahib. It was Raipur ki Talwandi, and then it was named Nankiana Sahib. Jithe Guru Nanak Dev Ji aaye. I means nar, ek manukh roop de vich ayn, Paramatma ayana. That na part of Nanak stands for Narayan. That God has come in the form of a human being. He's manifested. And then na ak. Na means no. Ak means any pain, any sorrow, any grief. He's beyond that. He's nirban. He's beyond any sort of pain. He's nihal. And these nanne wale shabds are all coming out. You can, what Bhai Tanjinder Singh had shared, Bhai Nand Lal Ji, he shared a different meaning. There's beyond translations, but this was the translation that Pandit Hardayal Ji gave. And there you go. That Nanak Shabd now serves as the light of Paramatma. Because Pave Mahalla Pehla hove, Mahalla Duja hove, in that Shabd, Nanak Pad Zarur Auga, and when it does come, it serves to tell you it's the same light that's going from Mahalla Pehla to Mahalla Duja to Mahalla Tija. The light's not changing. The body is. Now, what happens is, why did Guru Nanak Dev Ji laugh at that time? Bhai Bale Wale Janam Sakhi de vich eh likhya si ke that time jire ruah, because ਉਹ ਵੀ ਲਿਖਿਆ ਹੋਇਆ ਇਤਿਹਾਸ ਦੇ ਵਿੱਚ, that they could smell fragrance in the air. They could see flowers coming and manifesting, coming through the air, but they can't see who's sprinkling the flowers. And they know, and they acknowledged that Devi Devte, gods and goddesses were there. And where Pandit Hardayal Ji is doing namaskar at Baba Atal Rai, they also show the Devi Devte. And Bhai Gurdas Ji, Kabit Swahiyan de vich vi eh likhde a, and eh vi aapa hun gauna, okay? Satgur Nanak Dev, Satgur Nanak Dev. Japo ji, Satgur Satgur Nanak Dev, Satgur Nanak Dev. Dev Devi sab te aveh, Dev Devi sab te aveh, Satgur Nanak Dev, Satgur Nanak Dev. ਗੁਰੂ ਮਹਾਰਾਜ ਜੀ ਹੱਸੇ, ਕਹਿੰਦੇ ਤੁਸੀਂ ਮੈਨੂੰ ਪਹਿਲਾਂ ਹੀ ਆ ਕੇ ਪਛਾਣ ਲਿਆ, ਤੁਸੀਂ ਪਹਿਲਾਂ ਹੀ ਆ ਗਏ, ਕਿਉਂਕਿ ਪੁਕਾਰ ਤਾਂ ਹੋ ਰਹੀ ਸੀ ਧਰਤੀ ਤੋਂ, ਪੁਕਾਰ ਹੋਈ ਸੀ in the Dev realms, in the realms where Devi Devte are too. And ਕਹਿੰਦੇ ਆ ਸਾਥੋਂ ਨਹੀਂ ਕੁਛ ਹੋਣਾ ਸੱਚੇ ਪਾਤਸ਼ਾਹ, ਤੁਹਾਨੂੰ ਆਪ ਹੀ ਅਵਤਾਰ ਧਾਰਨਾ ਪੈਣਾ। ਪਰ ਉਹਨਾਂ ਨੇ ਪਹਿਲਾਂ ਹੀ ਪਛਾਣ ਕੇ ਆ ਗਏ ਰਾਏ ਭੋਏ ਕੀ ਤਲਵੰਡੀ ਦੇ ਵਿੱਚ। And why did they come? Because they acknowledge, and Bhai Gurdas Ji does too, and he says, Satgur Nanak Dev, Satgur Nanak Dev. Par Brahma, Puran Brahma, Par Brahma, Puran Brahma, Satgur Nanak Dev, Satgur Nanak Dev. Par Brahma, Puran Brahma, This is the Puran Paramatma, Par Brahm Swami, that has taken up a form ਸਾਡੀ ਕਲਿਆਣ ਵਾਸਤੇ। ਕਈ ਲੋਕ ਇਹ ਕਹਿਣਗੇ ਹੁਣ ਦੇਖੋ ਦੁਨੀਆ ਤਾਂ ਉਹੀ ਹਾਲ ਆ। ਨਹੀਂ, ਗੁਰੂ ਨਾਨਕ ਦੇਵ ਜੀ ਆਉਣ ਤੋਂ ਸਾਡੇ ਕੋਲ ਰਾਹ ਹੈਗਾ। ਗੁਰੂ ਨਾਨਕ ਦੇਵ ਜੀ ਆਉਣ ਤੋਂ ਪਹਿਲਾਂ ਉਹ ਰਾਹ ਨਹੀਂ ਹੈਗਾ ਸੀ। ਰਾਹ ਤੁਹਾਡੇ ਕੋਲ ਹੈਗਾ, ਹੁਣ ਤੁਹਾਡੇ ਤੇ ਆ। ਸਾਚਾ ਸਤਿਗੁਰ ਕਿਆ ਕਰੇ ਜੋ ਸਿੱਖਾਂ ਮੈਂ ਚੂਕ। Marji, what can he do if we're faltering and not being able to step on the path? The path is there. Guru Maharaj ji ne gaadi raah sade vaste bana ditta, par sade te a, it's on us, right? Amrit vela tusi rakhna, Guru Maharaj ji ne kya, and Maharaj ji ne rakhya। And ਇਹ ਵੀ ਤੁਹਾਨੂੰ ਸੁਣਾ ਦੇਵਾਂ 8 ਮਹੀਨੇ ਜਦੋਂ when Guru Maharaj ji got to 8 months old, Maharaj ji started sitting up and ਚੌਂਕੜਾ ਮਾਰਨ ਲੱਗ ਗਏ ਸੀ। ਮਾਤਾ ਤ੍ਰਿਪਤਾ ਜੀ would go to ਬਾਬਾ ਕਲਿਆਣ ਚੰਦ, ਮੈਨੂੰ ਤਾਂ ਡਰ ਆ ਬੱਚੇ ਦੇ ਲੱਤ ਵਿੰਗੇ ਹੋ ਜਾਣਗੇ ਤਾਂ ਚੌਂਕੜਾ ਹੁਣੀ ਮਾਰਨ ਲੱਗ ਗਿਆ। ਬਾਬਾ ਕਲਿਆਣ ਚੰਦ ਕਹਿੰਦੇ ਜੇ ਕਹਿੰਦੇ ਆ ਤਾਂ ਮੈਂ ਠੀਕ ਕਰ ਦਿੰਦਾ ਚਲੋ। He would go over to Guru Nanak Dev Ji, Maharaj ji ਉੱਥੇ ਚੌਂਕੜਾ ਮਾਰੇ ਜਾਂਦੇ ਸੀ ਕਿਉਂਕਿ ਅੰਮ੍ਰਿਤ ਵੇਲੇ Maharaj ji ਆਪੇ ਉੱਠ ਖੜ੍ਹਦੇ ਹੁੰਦੇ ਸੀ। And then ਆਵਾਜ਼ ਦੇ ਕੇ he would get his mother and father to get up at that time, at ਅੰਮ੍ਰਿਤ ਵੇਲਾ। And ਫਿਰ ਚੌਂਕੜਾ ਆਪੇ ਮਾਰ ਲੈਂਦੇ ਸੀ 8 ਮਹੀਨੇ ਦੀ ਉਮਰ ਦੇ ਵਿੱਚ। And then when Baba Kalyan Chand would come and straighten out Guru Nanak Dev Ji's legs in fear that the legs might become like permanently set like that, Maharaj ji would wait until he looks the other way and then he would cross it again. I also forgot to mention what happened during the first 7 months. ਉਹ ਵੀ ਮੈਂ ਤੁਹਾਨੂੰ ਦੱਸ ਦੇਵਾਂ। ਜਿਹੜੇ ਸਾਰੇ ਪਿੰਡ ਦੇ ਨਿਵਾਸੀ ਸੀ ਨਾ, every day they would come and ਮੱਥਾ ਟੇਕ to Guru Nanak Dev Ji. Why? ਕਿਉਂਕਿ ਇੱਕ ਵਾਰੀ ਮੱਥਾ ਟੇਕ ਲੈਂਦੇ ਸੀ, ਦਿਨ ਦੇ ਵਿੱਚ 8 ਪੈਰ ਖੇੜਾ ਰਹਿੰਦਾ ਸੀ ਉਹਨਾਂ ਨੂੰ। ਕਹਿੰਦੇ they would tell ਬਾਬਾ ਕਲਿਆਣ ਚੰਦ ਸਾਨੂੰ ਰੋਕਿਆ ਨਾ ਕਰ, ਸਾਡਾ ਖੇੜਾ ਇੰਨਾ ਰਹਿੰਦਾ 8 ਪੈਰ ਰਹਿੰਦਾ। And then the next day they would come after 24 hours and they would come and ਮੱਥਾ ਟੇਕ again. ਆਈ ਭੀੜ ਲੱਗੀ ਰਹਿੰਦੀ ਹੁੰਦੀ ਸੀ for 7 months. Then Guru Maharaj Ji started sitting up. But when Guru Nanak Dev Ji got to the age about 1 year and a half, then Sanata ਛਾ ਗਿਆ ਸੀ, everybody became silent. And ਉਹਨਾਂ ਦੇ ਦਿਲ ਦੇ ਵਿੱਚ sadness came. Everybody, why? You'll be asking why now? Sudden a change in emotion. The emotional change was this. Guru Nanak Dev Ji had not uttered anything. ਹਜੇ ਤੱਕ Maharaj Ji ਬੋਲੇ ਨਹੀਂ ਸੀ। And Maharaj Ji ਤਿਆਰੀ ਕਰ ਰਹੇ ਸੀ। And then when they would go, whether it was Chacha Lalu, he would come and they would try to get Guru Nanak Dev Ji to talk. ਬੜੀ ਹਿੰਮਤ ਕਰਦੇ ਹੁੰਦੇ ਸੀ। Everybody would come and try their own attempt and try to get Guru Maharaj Ji to talk. And then everybody, when they wouldn't be able to be successful, guess who they turned to? Tan Tan Bebe Nanaki. Bebe Nanaki, during the Avtar of Guru Nanak Dev Ji, was 5 years old. She was there during the Avtar. When she saw the light of God, guess who's the first one to matha take to Guru Nanak Dev Ji? It was Bebe Nanaki, 5 years of age, in that same kamra as her mother. The bibiyaan were saying that, "Bachiye tu chal ja tu kamre de vichoo." Kyun? Kendi nahi. That menu pata nahi, menu khich pੈ rahi hai. I want to see my brother. But that veer would now become a peer for her. It would become a peer means a Guru Sahib. ਕਿਉਂਕਿ ਗੁਰੂ ਸਾਹਿਬ ਮੰਨਦੀ ਸੀ, ਉਹ ਵੀਰ ਨਹੀਂ ਮੰਨਦੀ ਸੀ। ਜਦੋਂ she would wait until Guru Maharaj Ji's eyes would open in the morning, and then she would be the first one to greet Guru Maharaj Ji. And then when Maharaj Ji, they would lay Maharaj Ji on his bed, she would sleep right on the ground. Bebe Nanaki, Bhai Veer Singh ਇਹ ਲਿਖਦੇ ਆ। He said that when Bebe Nanaki would be playing, taking Guru Maharaj Ji into her gold, into her lap, when she would see that nobody's around, she would take Guru Nanak Dev Ji out of her gold. You might say, why? Because she wanted to matha take to Guru Nanak Dev Ji. She would take Marji out of her god and then she would place her matha at the feet of Guru Nanak Dev Ji. She knew everything. Brahm Gyan was there in her mind, and she knew that Guru Maharaj knew everything. So when they called upon her, and the Baba Kalyan Chand said that, Bebe Nanaki, kinna veer pyara, kende puchya kyun tu aaye sache? Why did you ask me that question? Prana to pyara mera veer. That what is it that you want from me, my father? She says, he hasn't talked. Chinta grasi, apachinta is now taking over our minds. Get your brother to talk. She takes Guru Nanak Dev Ji in her lap and she says, Guru Nanak, samjh sabd, you understand everything. And Maharaj nodded. And he says, Tonu pata Mata Ji chinta kar rahi hai? And he nodded. And he says, Tusi bolo. Kos to bolo. Maharaj didn't say anything. Then she said that, Veer bolo. Kos bolo, meri benti hai. Maharaj didn't say anything. And then she said, in the name of the Lord, Rab de vaste, bolo, bolo Guru Nanak. And then Maharaj said something. And he said, Vahe Guru, Vahe Guru, Vahe Guru, Tan Vahe Guru. Bolo ji, Vahe. Guru Maharaj Ji, now Nanak Shabd Pargat ho gaya. Vaheguru Naam Shabd Pargat ho gaya. And now the first Shabd of Sri Guru Granth Sahib Ji is going to come. Agge turiye. If you go to that sacred city, I have not been blessed enough to go there. One day Maharaj Ji kripa kare. But those that have been fortunate enough, they know this Gurdwara Sahib. This is Gurdwara Patti Sahib. Patti means slate. Slate, kyunki bachche slatean de upar likhde hunde si. Now the time has come. Maharaj is approximately 6 years of age. Baba Kalyan Chand says that hun sama ho gaya. Mata Tripta nu kehnde a that ਆਪਾਂ ਆਪਣੇ ਬੱਚੇ ਨਾਨਕ ਨੂੰ ਸਕੂਲ ਦੇ ਵਿੱਚ ਪਾਈਏ ਗਣਿਤ ਵਿਦਿਆ ਭਾਸ਼ਾ ਵਿਦਿਆ ਇਹਨੂੰ ਗਿਆਨ ਆਵੇ and she says that Pandit Hardyal ji ਕੋਲ ਲੈ ਜਾਓ ਦੇ ਠਹਿਰੋ ਆ ਵੀ ਲੈ ਜਾਓ she gets a plate ready with sweets and money and they cover it up. Baba Kalyan Chand holds the plate in one hand and he takes his finger out in the other hand and Guru Maharaj Ji takes his panja and he holds on to Baba Kalyan Chand with his fingers. And they start walking. What that scene must have been. As Guru Nanak Dev Ji is going where a teacher is going to attempt to teach him, but in the end, Maharaj is going to end up teaching him. They go to this stan, it's the house of Gopal Pandey. Gopal Pandey, utthe bachche sare sikh rahe si. All of the kids, you could hear them reciting out their lessons, reading it out one by one, each of them reading out their own lessons, memorizing at that time. And Baba Kalyan Chand goes to Gopal Pandey, Dekho, paise, tusi fikr na karo, inu changa padha deo, 2 salan de vich inu cam kar deo, that may he be able to do numbers and have proper language skills enough to write and speak. So Pandit Hardyal Ji, maaf karna, Gopal Pandey got so happy that Baba Kalyan Chand's well off and he knows that if he trains him well, that money will come into his home more than the other children. So first he focuses on Guru Nanak Dev Ji. As Baba Kalyan Chand heads home, he says to him, the Alek. Guru Maharaj Ji starts writing. He memorizes everything. He tells him the number system. He memorizes that too. And jado Sandhya pe, when it became after Sham Pegi si, then that time Baba Kalyan Chand came back And he told Baba Kalyan Chand, Gopal Pandey, he says that, "Ye to bahut hoshyar hai." And it's sab kuch sheti pakad li, meaning that he grasped everything very quickly. Inu kal nu fer le aao. So he took Guru Nanak Dev Ji home, where the mother and father would ask that, "What did you learn today?" He would recite it out. The next day, Guru Nanak Dev Ji returns to Gurdwara Patti Sahib. When Guru Maharaj Ji comes to Patti Sahib again, he comes and Gopal Pandey says that ਦੂਜੇ ਬੱਚੇ ਨੂੰ ਬਿਠਾ ਕੇ Guru Nanak Dev Ji ਨੂੰ ਵੱਖਰੇ ਕਮਰੇ ਦੇ ਵਿੱਚ ਲੈ ਗਏ. He took him aside and took him into a different kamra, and he says, "Jere kal sikhaya si oh sunao. That what you learned yesterday oh sunao." Guru Maharaj Ji bole nahi. He stayed quiet. Maharaj Ji stayed quiet. ਜਿੱਥੇ ਦਾਸ ਨੂੰ ਪੜ੍ਹਾਇਆ ਗਿਆ ਇਹ ਇੱਕ one ਕਾਰਨ ਇਹ ਸੀ ਕਿ ਮਹਾਰਾਜ ਜੀ ਗਰੀਬ ਨਵਾਜ ਆ. ਜਿੱਥੇ ਦੂਜੇ ਬੱਚਿਆਂ ਨੂੰ ਨਹੀਂ ਪੜ੍ਹਾ ਰਹੇ ਤੇ ਉਹਨਾਂ ਨੂੰ singling him out and giving him a special lesson, ਤੇ ਇਹ ਕਾਰਨ ਸੀ ਪਹਿਲਾ. ਤੇ ਦੂਸਰਾ ਸੀ ਇਹ ਕਿ ਉਹਨੂੰ ਤਿਆਰ ਕਰਨਾ ਸੀ ਮਹਾਰਾਜ ਜੀ ਨੇ. He was going to get him ready for something, and that I'm going to share with you. That he says, "Why aren't you talking? Why aren't you saying?" ਚਲੋ ਮੈਨੂੰ ਹੁਣ ਪਤਾ ਲੱਗ ਗਿਆ that something's inside of you, teri khelan di ichha, that you want to play. And then he points to a danda and he says, "See that danda? That straightens out children that want to play during lesson time." Maharaj Ji stayed silent for a moment or two, and then he says that what you're teaching me is empty. It's sara khali hai. What do these letters mean? At that time, Gopal Pandey says, "Well, they don't need to mean anything. You join it. That first letter I taught you, Satsai, means nothing. But it means something when you put it together. You get words, then you get sentences, then you can communicate. Then you'll be successful in school, then you'll get a job, just like all of us, right? We went to school, we got this gyan, we got our jobs, and then you're making money, and then you're happy." No. That emptiness starts from those letters. As you join those empty letters, empty. As you start communicating your focused gyan, that's empty. When you get your jobs, you're just making money for the world, that's empty. And you feel empty inside. And he says, "Then, okay, you teach me. You know so much, then you teach me," Gopal Pandey says. Guru Maharaj Ji says, "You're not ready to be taught, but I'll give you the recipe." And he says, the first shabd that was uttered ever was this, Mahal Pehla. Jalmo kasmas kar. He says, burn the attachment first. Duniya da jera moa unu saar deo. Jalmo kasmas kar. And then ਅੱਗੇ ਜਾ ਕੇ ਮਹਾਰਾਜ ਜੀ ਨੇ ਕੀ ਕਹਿਣਾ, ਬਾਬਾ ਇਹੋ ਲੇਖਾ ਲਿਖ ਜਾਣ, ਜਿੱਥੇ ਲੇਖਾ ਮੰਗੀਏ ਤਿੱਥੇ ਹੋਏ ਸੱਚਾ ਨਿਸ਼ਾਨ. And he says, ਤੁਸੀਂ ਪਹਿਲਾਂ ਖਿਆਲ ਰੱਖਣਾ, burn away the attachment for the world, make the ink that you need, just like children need school supplies. Maharaj Ji in this shabd writes out the school supplies that you need in order to become a Sikh, in order to become a student. He was so blown away by this that Pandit Hardayal Ji would ask different questions which would become the rest of the shabd. And he says, "What do you mean, Lekha? You mean after this life?" He says, "Maharaj Ji, yes." Maharaj Ji says, "Yes, after this life, people go and line up in Dharamraj's Kachari. And utthe Lekha ban janda. You guys are judged. But jithe ਸੱਚਾ ਨਿਸ਼ਾਨ ਨਾਮ ਦਾ ਨਿਸ਼ਾਨ ਤਿੰਨ ਮੁਖ ਟਿੱਕੇ ਨਿਕਲੇ, those people that have sacha now inside, a tikka of naam that illuminates the subtle body in the afterlife comes out, and they will not be taken to Dharamraj's Kachari. They'll be taken to something you don't understand. Pandit Hardayal Ji, it's called Sachkhand. And he told him, Pandit Hardayal Ji is blown away because he, in his heart, had been looking for a true guru. And ਉਹਨੂੰ ਆਏ ਮਹਿਸੂਸ ਹੋਣ ਲੱਗ ਗਿਆ ਇਹ ਰੱਬੀ ਬਾਲਕ ਆ, just like Pandit Hardayal ji. And then he says that ਜੇ ਤੈਨੂੰ ਇੰਨਾ ਗਿਆਨ ਪ੍ਰਮਾਤਮਾ ਨੇ ਬਖਸ਼ਿਆ, then tell me what these letters mean. And then Maharaj would open up on his slate and he would write, Sasai soe srist jin saji, sabna sahib ek paya, sevat reh chit jin ka laga, aaya tin ka safal paya. Sadi yatra ehi a manukhi jamme de vich, is to make our life safal. ਇਹ ਟੀਚਰਾਂ ਨੂੰ ਜਿੱਥੇ ਉਹ ਨੂਰਦੀਨ ਕੋਲ ਵੀ ਜਾਣਗੇ ਮਹਾਰਾਜ ਜੀ, ਉਹ ਇਹ ਸਿੱਖਿਆ ਸੀ ਕਿਸ ਤਰ੍ਹਾਂ ਜੀਵਨ ਸਫਲ ਹੁੰਦਾ and ਕਿਸ ਤਰ੍ਹਾਂ ਜੀਵਨ ਤ੍ਰਿਗ ਹੁੰਦਾ, ਤ੍ਰਿਗਕਾਰ, that becomes wasted and cursed. And how does it become safal? Well, those that remember God with a focused attention, chit jinka laga, aya, for their coming, Maharaj ji's coming is so our coming becomes safal. Maharaj ji came to make our life safal and worthwhile. That's why Guru Maharaj ji came. So these beings forevermore, that this shabd is now pargat, that it can become part of their mind and they focus on it and they do a abhyas of it, and their minds, what can happen, God can illuminate their minds and they can be freed by burning away the attachments of these lives. Pandit Hardayal ji would listen to this Bani called Patti Likhi that comes in Guru Granth Sahib ji. And then, blown away by this, he says, his mind says to him, "Eh ohiya, teri mang si that sacha Guru lab jave, eh ohiya, matha tek la enu." That teacher that started out trying to teach Guru Maharaj ji adorns Guru Maharaj ji as his teacher as he matha takes. And jion matha tekde a, Bansavli Nama jo Bhagat Jaswant Singh ji ne likhya, he wrote a quote from our Itihas. And ਇਹ ਵੀ ਮੈਂ ਤੁਹਾਨੂੰ ਪੜਾਉਣਾ, and ਆਪਾਂ ਗਾਵਾਂਗੇ. ਵਾਹੋ ਵਾਹੋ ਗੁਰੂ ਨਾਨਕ ਜੀ, ਵਾਹੋ ਵਾਹੋ ਗੁਰੂ ਨਾਨਕ ਜੀ. Bring Pandit Hardayal, maaf karna, Gopal Pandey in your head, and as he's bowing to Guru Maharaj ji over and over in Dandot, he's saying, Anek baar namaskar, Anek baar namaskar. Namaskar, vaho vaho Guru Nanak ji, vaho vaho Guru Nanak ji, vaho. बिन पढ़ाए पढ़ रहे, बिन पढ़ाए अवर पढ़ावन हार, अवर पढ़ावन हार. Baba Kalyan Chand comes and he says to him, "Maithon nahi padha hona Baba Kalyan Chand, ye to dhuroi hi padh ke aaya." He's come from beyond and he's already has all the vidya with him. It's avar padhavanhar. He's the one who's going to teach everybody. He's going to be the one who teaches everybody. Look at how Maharaj operated throughout this world systematically, through the teachers, through the doctors, through the pundits. Maharaj taught all the people that go and teach and treat people. Onna nu sikhaya. The first people, then going up into the governments, whether it was a Nawab, Unna nu vi sikhaya. Maharaj working his way up, and then would come when Maharaj would disappear for 3 days in the waters. But he would say this, and now agge. When Baba Kalyan Chand comes home, and Mata Tripta ji say that tusi Siddhyan aage, you've come back early. He would say that, ਉਹਨੇ ਤਾਂ ਹੱਥ ਖੜੇ ਕਰ ਦਿੱਤੇ ਆ, ਮੈਨੂੰ ਤਾਂ ਸਮਝ ਨਹੀਂ ਪੈਂਦੀ। ਗੋਪਾਲ ਪਾਂਦੇ ਤਾਂ ਮੱਥਾ ਟੇਕੀ ਜਾਂਦਾ ਸੀ ਗੁਰੂ ਨਾਨਕ ਦੇਵ ਜੀ ਨੂੰ। ਉਹ ਕਹਿੰਦਾ ਮੈਥੋਂ ਤਾਂ ਨਹੀਂ ਪੜ੍ਹਾਉਣਾ। Then what do we do? As he got a little older, they decided that maybe perhaps we can prepare him for a government job. The government job requires Persian language. And Qazi Nuruddin, who was nearby, which now there's a Gurdwara situated, it's also called Gurdwara Patti Sahib, but there's another shabd in front of it. An adjective is Maulvi Patti Sahib. Gurdwara Maulvi Patti Sahib. That was the place where Qazi Nuruddin would sit and teach children the Persian language and speaking the Quran. That's where he used to sit. And when he knew Mehta Kalyan Chand, everybody knew, because oh Patwari si, that when Guru Nanak Dev Ji comes to this spot, he says the same thing, that tusi enu yog bana deo, that make him deserving and understanding of the language of the Persian language, Farsi de vich, make him capable. Then what happened is, Qazi Nuruddin said that, मैं सुनिया तुहाडे बालक बारे तो शायद तुसी फिक्र ना करो, कल नूं आ जाओ ते सुबह आपां शुरू कर दिंदे आ lesson. So the next day came. Guru Nanak Dev Ji is left there with Qazi Nuruddin, and there's other Vidyaarthis there as well. And then when Guru Nanak Dev Ji is sitting there, he gives him a slate, a patti, and he says, now the alphabet, according to the Persian language, they call the golden alphabet. He says it starts the same way English language starts, like A and B. They call it Alif and Be. I'll give you a fair order on the Alif, Be, and then Pe, Te, Jeem, I onna da janda. He goes to him, the Alif likho, Alif. And Guru Nanak Dev Ji, on his patti, you can see a lakir. It looks like a happy smile. That's Alif. He draws an Alif. And then he writes a Be by himself. And then he writes the next letter by himself too. Qazi Nuruddin looks in amazement, in astonishment. And he says, Balik tu ape janda? And he writes out the whole alphabet. And he says to him, that main sirf nahi janda. I'll tell you something else. And ye bani Guru Granth Sahib Ji de vich nahi aunਦੀ. But if you go to Baba Atal Rai and you read by Mani Singh Wali Janam Sakhi, at Baba Atal Rai, the tasveera on the second floor at Baba Atal Rai, they have this quote written of what Guru Maharaj Ji translated. He translated those letters as well too. And he would say, Alif Allah nu yaad kar, gaflat mano visar, swas palte naam bin, trig jeevan sansar. That what happens is Alif, the first letter, through the first letter of A, remember God, remember Paramatma, and forget all doubts. Gaflat mano visar, through your minds, all the doubts created by this daily living. And then swas palte naam bin, remember this, that if your last breath turns to a next, and you don't have Vaheguru on your rasna, right? Then trig jeevan sansar, consider your life a curse. Consider your life wasted. Through the first letter of Sassa, to Gopal Pandey Maharaj Ji says, kis tarah safal karni hai yatra. And through the Alif, the first letter, to Qazi Nuruddin, Guru Maharaj Ji tells him, kis tarah trig jeevan sansar, how your world and your life can become wasted. Kis tarah safal karni hai, kis tarah bagaad sakde hain tusi jeevan. Ehi sade lai marg Maharaj Ji kaam karke gaya. He told us the sahi marg, but it's on us if we want to travel on this marg. Then he's so surprised. He stands up and he says, Bache, stay here. Stay here. I have to go tell somebody. Because he has realized that it's Auliya, it's Rabbi Avtar. So he goes to tell somebody. Oh, jaake dassan lagya kisi nu. Guru Maharaj Ji, jehdi chadar de upar baithe si na, oh chuk li. Maharaj Ji gets up and leaves the madras. Madras means a school in Persian. He leaves it. And there's a tree nearby. He goes to the tree. And he lies down. And Maharaj Ji ne wo kapda upar le liya. Aye. And Baba Kalyan Chand, when he comes in the evening, he notices Guru Nanak Dev Ji lying there. And he sees a tree nearby the school. And Maharaj Ji ta ithe paya. So he goes looking for the Qazi. And he says, Qazi, look, kya je sabak sikhaya. Guru Maharaj Ji nu bahar jaake pata. Now why is he lying down underneath the tree? He says, hai? मैं तो उन मुड़ के आना सी मैनू आप नहीं लभ रहे मैं क्या सी इत्थे ठहरो वो फिर ठहरे नहीं होना. So he goes and he says मैनू दसो कित्थे है. They go up to Guru Nanak Dev Ji. They go up to Guru Nanak Dev Ji and they say to Guru Nanak Dev Ji, Maharaj Ji is still lying with the sheet covering over his head. And he says, Nanak Ji, Sri Nanak Ji, utho, tusi kaate aaye pe? Kuch to bolo, why aren't you talking? Maharaj Ji would not talk. And he's silent again because now another shabd of Guru Granth Sahib Ji is about to come. It's a revelation. It turki bani aa rahi hai. Then at that time, when he said, say something, kuch ta kyo, say at least one thing. One in the Persian language is yak. Yak. And Maharaj Ji got up, took the sheet off him, opened his eyes, and he says, Yakars guftum pesto dargos kun kartar Hakka kabir kareem tu beab parvadagar Duniya mukame fani tehkeek dildani Mamsar muhe Azrail girfte dil hech nadani. And the words of Akal Purkh flow out like water. Onlookers all watch Guru Maharaj Ji utter this Bani. And when Maharaj Ji says these words, Sare dekhte hai. Maharaj Ji then translates. Kyunki jithe Maharaj Ji ga rahe si Bani, fir Katha vi ho rahi si. And the Katha, ye parampara reha sade vaste, Kirtan then Katha. The Katha ye hui, Maharaj Ji ne kya Azrail, girift hai. The death's messengers are going to come. They're going to come and उन्होंने लेके जाके तुनु धर्मराज दी कचहरी दे विच खड़ा देना and उत्थे लेखा मंगना. गिरफ्ते ममसर मुए अज़राइल गिरफ्ते ममसर मुए means case. थोड़े केसां तू पकड़ के लेके जाएंगे. When they break the attachments that you have, हड्डां कू कड़काए, just like Bhagat Friji says, and Guru Maharaj Ji explains all of this. And he says that dunya ta fana rupa. The world is transient. The world is temporary. The world is going to go. And it's your time. Take Guru Maharaj Ji's message. Ye raag te lang de vich aunda Guru Maharaj Ji da pavitra shabd. And Qazi, us waqt, Qazi Nuruddin nu, jira une Makke wal, oh, jira karde hunde their prayers, the prayers that they do towards Makkah, he did towards Guru Nanak Dev Ji. And this is Rabbi ਤੁਹਾਡੇ ਸਾਹਮਣੇ ਆ ਫਿਰ ਮੱਕੇ ਨੂੰ ਕਿਉਂ ਮੂੰਹ ਕਰੀਏ ਉਹਨੇ ਉਧਰ ਨੂੰ ਜਿਸ ਤਰ੍ਹਾਂ ਹਜ਼ਰਤ ਭੀਖਨ ਸ਼ਾਹ ਨੇ ਗੁਰੂ ਗੋਬਿੰਦ ਸਿੰਘ ਜੀ ਨੂੰ ਕੀਤਾ ਸੀ ਹਿੰਮਤਾਂ ਟੇਕਡ. He would hear all of this, and this is the tasveer from Baba Atal Rai that even it says in the third line, Alif, Allah nu yaad kar. Remember that. Allah Paramatma nu yaad karo. And he would utter very similar thing, but we'll say the same thing that Gopal Pandey said. Vaho vaho Guru Nanak ji, vaho vaho Guru Nanak ji. अनेक बार नमस्कार, अनेक बार नमस्कार, अनेक बार नमस्कार। बिन पढ़ाए पढ़ रहे, अवर पढ़ावन हार, अवर पढ़ावन। वाहो वाहो गुरु नानक जी, वाहो वाहो। अनेक बार नमस्कार, अनेक बार नमस्कार, अनेक। तास चरण लै हृदय बसावो, तो परम गुरु नानक गुण गावो। That's the मकसद। मैनू इत्थे I'm just setting you guys up for the lines। मेरा बस यही है that तुसी भिज के गाओ। साडे वास्ते आ दिन सफल आ। If we sing with our hearts, let's ask सच्चे पातशाह that परमात्मा hear me सच्चे पातशाह। गुरु महाराज जी hear my अरदास, यक अर्ज गुफ्तम। मैनू अपना कान दियो सच्चे पातशाह। Lend me your ear। मैं एक अर्ज गुजारा तुहाडे अगे। हे दाता, I've been ignorant। Forgive me for my ignorance for all those years। Forgive me and now teach me। Teach me how to love you with more feeling। You taught Gopal Pandey, you taught Qazi Nuruddin, and they were from a different religion। Guru Maharaj Ji, we offer you our head। We call you Nanak Naam Leva। We call ourselves your followers। Data, ardas apa karde hain। Sache Paatshah, tell us how to love you with more feeling। Love is the key। Jin prem kiyo tin hi prab payo। You have to love Guru Maharaj Ji। It's the love that we have. Every one of you has it। You know, you cannot judge a book by its cover। All of you have it। It's a changyara that's lit up inside of you। We sit in Sangat so your love feeds the next, and your love feeds the next person, that our love grows inside. These auspicious days are for these things. I want to share one final thing with you, because I see this in the Sikh Jagat. What I heard from Guru Maharaj Ji, what he told Bhai Lalo, Lalo means love. Jide, I learned from Bhai Lalo, because he was the first destination for Maharaj Ji's yatra, udasiyan. And Bhai Lalo nu, jado Maharaj Ji mud ke on a second visit, he would recite Bani. And he would say to Bhai Lalo, Saram taram doy shap kholoe, Kood fire pardaan ve Lalo. And he says, Lalo dekh la, सारा इत्थे आले दुआले देख ला। ये एमनाबाद की गल नहीं, ये सारे संसार दी है। शर्म, मॉडेस्टी कित्थे चल गई। आपां कई जिहियां तस्वीरां अपनी खिच रहे हैं। की हाल हो गया दुनिया दा। Where is modesty gone? आ जिहड़ा पहरावा ना तुसीं साध संगत सारिਆਂ ਦੇ पाए वे, ये बाना साडा, ये पत्त ढकदा, ये पत्त रखदा। Guru Maharaj Ji ne bana bakshiya sade vaste। Don't be shy to wear it। Maharaj Ji says, Saram, sharam liao। Asa diwar de vich vi likhya, Saram taram doy shap, maaf karna, Saram taram ka dera dur, Nanak kood rahya parpoor। Ehi ala duniya di। This is the hal, that Saram Taram has gone. Where is Taram? People want to show Taram. Then when they wear that chola, that keeps their honor, what do they do with it? Hypocrisy। Hypocrisy। They're hypocrites and pakhand karde hai। They show people, they do one thing, they teach people, and they do one thing behind doors. And that's the hal of our panth. But I'm not going to leave you with something, with hopelessness. Where Guru Maharaj Ji ne pair taraya, jithe Baba pair tare, puja asan thapan soa. What did Guru Maharaj Ji do? Jithe Guru Maharaj Ji ne pair taraya, uthe saram dharm fir mud ke aa gaya. Where Guru Nanak Dev Ji placed his feet, saram, modesty, and dharm, righteousness, came back into the panth. Where you're sitting now is a place of Guru Maharaj Ji. ਜਿਹੜੇ ਜੁੜਦੇ ਆ ਉਹਨਾਂ ਨੂੰ ਆ ਜਾਣਾ ਦੇਖੋ ਗੁਰੂ ਮਹਾਰਾਜ ਜੀ ਜਿੱਥੇ ਬੈਠੇ ਸੀ ਨਾ under the waxing moon in the garden of Raja Shivnab who had been scarred by imposters, scarred by people that are posing as Guru Nanak Dev Ji. You know what happened? He would test those people and everyone failed. When he would send these women called the Padmaniya, they would wear very little clothes. And they would go to attract the individuals. And those individuals gave in. They became intimate with these women. But not Guru Maharaj Ji. He says, Gacho putri rajkuwar, naam pano sach dot sawar. Maharaj Ji would call them his daughters. And when they would listen to their father telling Katha, under the waxing moon, they came with wrong intentions, but they left with right intentions. They became Gursikhs. And what they started doing is, jo vi unne kole parna, kos vi ega si, they started covering their bodies up. Kyunki sharm aa gayi si unna nu. Sharm aa gayi si. This goes for mards and aurats. Mard vi ohi cheez karde hai. They ਉਹਨਾਂ ਨੂੰ ਸ਼ਰਮ ਆ ਗਈ ਸੀ ਉਹਨਾਂ ਨੇ ਆਏ ਢੱਕ ਲਿਆ ਸੀ ਸਰੀਰ ਧੰਨ ਉਹ ਬੀਬੀਆਂ and then what happened ਉਹਨਾਂ ਨੂੰ ਧਰਮ ਵੀ ਮਿਲ ਗਿਆ ਸੀ that Maharaj Ji says ਸਵੇਰੇ ਉਠੋ ਤੇ ਪਰਮਾਤਮਾ ਦਾ ਨਾਮ ਲਿਓ and they did and this was the shabd that Guru Maharaj Ji uttered. ਖਾਲਸਾ ਜੀ ਇਹ ਕਿੱਥੇ ਚਲਾ ਗਿਆ ਧਰਮ ਪੰਖ ਕਰ ਉੱਡ ਰਿਹਾ. That Dharam, it seems like before Guru Maharaj Ji's time, Dharam is like a mountain and it's grown wings and it's flown away. But Guru Maharaj Ji's brought Dharam back. I tell you, believe in Guru Maharaj Ji. Guru Maharaj Ji, and bring him into your heart and onna de gun gao. Because just like these murals in India are fading away, this is a mural of Guru Angad Dev Ji climbing a tree. When nobody else would believe Guru Maharaj Ji. That Maharaj Ji says, Sangat vaste mathiyaiyan diggan giyan. The mathiyaiyan will come. Nobody else believed him. Why did Guru Angad Dev Ji believe him? Because ਉਹਨਾਂ ਨੂੰ ਪਤਾ ਨਾਨਕ ਨਦਰੀ ਨਦਰ ਨਿਹਾਲ. Maharaj Ji ਦੀ ਨਦਰ ਪੈ ਗਈ ਉਹ ਦਰਖਤ ਦੇ ਉੱਪਰ. that ਹੁਣ ਇਹ ਦਰਖਤ ਕੁਛ ਵੀ ਕਰ ਸਕਦਾ. It has capacity. And when he shook it, ਹਲੂਣਾ ਦਿੱਤਾ, ਮਠਿਆਈਆਂ ਡਿੱਗੀਆਂ. But ਹੁਣ ਦਾ ਜਗਤ, skepticism is ruling over people, and what do? They will not recreate this painting. And just as this painting dies away, so does our Shraddha die away in the Panth. Nobody believes these Sakhi of Guru Maharaj Ji. That's why we've tried with this yatan of writing Sakhi Sagar, that we've tried to bring that Shraddha back into you. We need more Shraddha. We need to believe in Guru Maharaj Ji. I saw this in Bhai Rupa Das ne tasveer khichi si. And we put it in the book of Guru Nanak Sakhi Sagar. And people probably wondering why. By the end of it, you'll see this image become much more clear. And that's why I say to you, Sun Sakhi Man Jap Pyar. Guru Maharaj Ji di Sakhiyan parya karo. Jithe Guru Maharaj Ji di Janam Sakhi, jere ghar de vich Janam Sakhi hai, utthe Sikhi zarur rahogi. Because they'll read about Maharaj Ji's voyages. When you read a Sakhi, Guru Maharaj Ji travels in your head to those countries, doesn't he? Your mind is being purified with Guru Maharaj Ji traveling inside of your head. So I leave you with an ardas, not my ardas, with Bhai Veer Singh's ardas. You can read the translation yourself. He wrote it in a poem, and I'm going to read this ardas on behalf of myself and behalf of all the Sangat and all of those that are watching. Lag gaye haan vich buriyaiyan, lag gaye haan vich buriyaiyan, Rab saईं to vitha paiyan, Rab saईं to vitha paiyan, नाम विसारा हो गया साइयां, नाम विसारा हो गया, असां बानी टेक गवाई, असां बानी टेक गवाई, ग्रसे गे हाँ ਹੁਣ ਵਿੱਚ ਵਿਪਦਾ, ਗ੍ਰਸੇ ਗਏ ਹਾਂ ਹੁਣ ਵਿੱਚ ਵਿਪਦਾ, ਘੇਰ ਲਿਆ ਚੌਂ ਫੇਰਿਓਂ ਅਪਦਾ, ਘੇਰ ਲਿਆ ਚੌਂ ਫੇਰਿਓਂ ਅਪਦਾ, ਸੱਜਣ ਸੈਨ ਕੋਈ ਨਹੀਂ ਦਿਸਦਾ, ਸੱਜਣ ਸੈਨ ਕੋਈ ਨਹੀਂ ਦਿਸਦਾ, ਸੱਜਣ ਸੈਨ ਕੋਈ ਨਹੀਂ ਦਿਸਦਾ, ਬਹੁੜ, ਬਹੁੜ means to return, ਬਹੁੜ ਬਹੁੜ ਹੁਣ ਆਪ ਗੁਸਾਈ, ਬਹੁੜ ਬਹੁੜ ਹੁਣ ਆਪ ਗੁਸਾਈ, ਹੇ ਗੁਰੂ ਨਾਨਕ ਤਰੁੱਠ ਗੁਸਾਈ, ਹੇ ਗੁਰੂ ਨਾਨਕ ਤਰੁੱਠ ਗੁਸਾਈ, ਆਪਣੀ ਉਮਤ, that's all of us, ummat, followers, ਆਪਣੀ ਉਮਤ ਆਪ ਬਚਾਈ, ਆਪਣੀ ਉਮਤ ਆਪ ਬਚਾਈ, ਔਗਣ ਸਾਰੇ ਬਖਸ਼ ਭੁਲਾਈ, ਔਗਣ ਸਾਰੇ ਬਖਸ਼ ਭੁਲਾਈ, ਲੜ ਲਾਈ ਨੂੰ ਆਪ ਬਚਾਈ, ਲੜ ਲਾਈ ਨੂੰ ਆਪ ਬਚਾਈ, ਔਗਣ ਸਾਰੇ ਬਖਸ਼ ਭੁਲਾਈ, ਔਗਣ ਸਾਰੇ ਬਖਸ਼ ਭੁਲਾਈ, ਹੇ ਗੁਰੂ ਨਾਨਕ ਤਰੁੱਠ ਗੁਸਾਈ, ਗੁਰੂ ਨਾਨਕ ਤਰੁੱਠ ਗੁਸਾਈ. Hopefully you can read the translations yourself. That's as much as hard as I have to share with you. ਇੱਕ ਮਾਲਾ ਗੁਰੂ ਮਹਾਰਾਜ ਜੀ ਦਾ, ਗੁਰੂ ਨਾਨਕ ਦੇਵ ਜੀ ਦੀ ਧੁਨ ਦੇਖਿਓ, ਜਪਿਓ ਜਿਨ ਅਰਜਨ ਦੇਵ ਗੁਰੂ, ਫਿਰ ਸੰਕਟ ਜੋਨ ਗਰਭ ਨ ਆਇਓ. ਜਿੱਥੇ ਗੁਰੂ ਮਹਾਰਾਜ ਜੀ ਨੇ ਕਹਿ ਦਿੱਤਾ ਗੁਰੂ ਅਰਜਨ ਦੇਵ ਜੀ ਦਾ ਨਾਮ ਵੀ ਜਪ ਸਕਦੇ ਆ, ਤੁਸੀਂ ਗੁਰੂ ਅਰਜਨ ਦੇਵ ਜੀ ਦਾ ਨਾਮ ਜਪ ਸਕਦੇ ਆ, ਤੁਸੀਂ ਗੁਰੂ ਨਾਨਕ ਦੇਵ ਜੀ ਦਾ ਨਾਮ ਵੀ ਜਪ ਸਕਦੇ ਆ. ਸੋ ਫੋਰਗਿਵ ਮੀ ਇਫ ਆਈ ਮੇਡ ਐਨੀ ਮਿਸਟੇਕਸ. ਆਪਾਂ ਵੀ ਹੁਣ ਕੀਰਤਨ ਦੇ ਰੂਪ ਦੇ ਵਿੱਚ ਜੁੜਨਾ, ਜਿਸ ਤਰ੍ਹਾਂ ਸਾਰੀ ਸੰਗਤ ਨੇ ਗਾਇਆ, ਤੁਸੀਂ ਇਸੇ ਤਰ੍ਹਾਂ ਗੱਜ ਵੱਜ ਕੇ ਗੁਰੂ ਮਹਾਰਾਜ ਜੀ ਦਾ ਨਾਮ ਮਾਲਾ ਰੂਪ ਆਪਾਂ ਗੁਰੂ ਮਹਾਰਾਜ ਜੀ ਦਾ ਨਾਂ ਗਾਉਣਾ. ਹੁਣ ਕੀਰਤਨ ਰੂਪ ਦੇ ਵਿੱਚ ਸਾਰੀ ਸੰਗਤਾਂ ਨੇ ਗਾਉਣਾ. ਐਂਡ ਹੁਣ ਸਮਾਪਤੀ ਦਾਸ ਹੁਣ ਮੰਗਲ ਭਰੂਗਾ, ਐਂਡ ਤੁਸੀਂ ਵੀ ਕਿਰਪਾ ਕਰਕੇ ਨਾਲ ਜੁੜਨਾ. ਹੇ ਗੋਬਿੰਦ ਹੇ ਗੋਪਾਲ ਹੇ ਦਿਆਲ ਲਾਲ ਰਾਓ, ਪ੍ਰਾਨਨਾਥ ਅਨਾਥ ਸਖੇ, ਹੇ ਸਮਰੱਥ ਅਗਮ ਪੂਰਨ, ਅੰਧਕੂਪ ਮਹਾਪਿਆਨ, ਪੌੜੀ ਹੇ ਅਚੁੱਤ ਹੇ ਪਾਰ ਬ੍ਰਹਮ, हे पूर्ण हे सर्ब मैं, हे संगी हे निरंकार, हे गोबिंद हे गुण निदान, हे अपरंपर हर हरे, हे संते के सदा संग, हे ठाकुर हों दासरो, मैं निर्गुण गुण नहीं, नानक दीजे नाम दान, वाहिगुरु नाम जहाज है, जो सरदा कर सीव दे, जो सरदा कर सीव दे. So forgive me if I made any mistakes. Please take Guru Maharaj Ji's pyar with you. Ask ardas de vich ehi kaho that Guru Maharaj Ji chaugun mera pyar vadhao. Make it fourfold stronger. Now I'm going to hand it off to Bhai Tajinder Singh Ji. And Bilao Fateh Vaheguru Ji Ka Khalsa, Vaheguru Ji Ki Fateh.